Welcome to Chapter 1 of our series, Agentic AI, the Next Technological Leap. In this episode, titled, From Chatbots to Agents, Why This Leap is So Important, we're going to explore the key differences between chatbots and AI agents, and why understanding this evolution is crucial for the future of technology. So, let's dive in. Last year, a side project called AutoGPT quietly became GitHub's fastest-growing repo. In just a few weeks, thousands were asking, did my code just do that on its own? Today's question isn't how chatbots talk, it's how agents act when no one is watching. Most teams still treat AI like a smarter search box. You ask, it answers, and nothing moves unless a human pushes the next button. But the real shift isn't better answers, it's that software is starting to do things on its own timeline. Klarna's support system doesn't just draft replies, it quietly resolves millions of tickets end-to-end, changing staffing needs, SLAs, and even how they design products. Because customer pain now shows up as agent behavior in dashboards, not just text in transcripts. McKinsey's trillions of dollars estimate isn't about prettier chat windows, it's about letting AI run slices of workflows the way a seasoned colleague would. Think of your current chatbot touchpoints. How many are thin veneers over manual work that an agent could already be orchestrating behind the scenes? Most organizations are still stuck in pilot mode. A few chatbots on the website, a playground account for the data team, maybe an internal Q&A bot. Useful, but fundamentally reactive. Agents shift the question from, what can this model answer, to, what outcomes am I willing to let software own? That forces uncomfortable but necessary design work, business rules, guardrails, audit trails, handoff criteria. It's closer to hiring a junior teammate than installing an app. You don't just turn it on, you decide what authority it has, how it reports back, and when a human must step in. The real leap isn't in the interface you see, it's in what runs after you close the chat window. Classic bots end where your cursor stops. Agents keep going. They turn that natural language request into a concrete plan, break it into steps, choose tools, and adjust based on what actually happens. Klarna's numbers aren't magic. They're what you get when you hand off entire workflows instead of single responses. Under the hood, most modern agents share a few building blocks. First, goal interpretation. They translate a fuzzy request, fix this subscription mess, into explicit objectives and constraints. That includes edge cases, compliance rules, and when to give up and ask a human. Second, planning and replanning. They don't just call a model once. They sketch an initial path, check account, identify issue, simulate options, apply change, confirm. Then update that plan each time reality disagrees with the script. Third, tool orchestration. Rather than giving you links, they log into the CRM, query the billing system, update a ticket, send a follow-up. In many setups, the language model is more like an air traffic controller for APIs than the plane itself. Fourth, memory and state. They maintain a working notebook across hours or days. What's been tried, what failed, what's pending review. That's what lets them resume a task or learn from repeated friction in a process. And finally, oversight loops. Thresholds for uncertainty, risk scores, and escalation paths keep them from silently powering through when something looks off. The best-designed agents surface their doubts as artifacts you can inspect: logs, rationales, simulation outputs. The practical consequence: you stop thinking in prompts and start thinking in roles. Not answer this question, but own this slice of the refund journey under these conditions. That's also where the fear of replacement is often misplaced. These systems still choke on ambiguity, politics, and novel exceptions, the exact spots where human judgment is most valuable. One helpful way to frame the shift is culinary. Instead of asking for a recipe and cooking it yourself, you're gradually trusting a sous chef with prep, then whole dishes, then parts of service, while you watch the pass and decide whatever leaves the kitchen. A helpful way to test whether you're still in chatbot land is to ask, if I walked away right now, would anything meaningful still happen? For most teams, the honest answer is no. A bot drafts text. A person still clicks every button that matters. Take a sales org. The bot today might polish outreach emails. An agent version quietly checks product usage, segments accounts, queues tasks in your CRM, and only pings a rep when there's a clear, ranked list of who to call and why. Same interface, totally different leverage. Or think about finance operations. Instead of telling you your invoices look late, an agent flags anomalies, simulates cash flow scenarios, proposes a collections plan, and opens tickets with owners, while leaving final approvals with humans. The pattern is consistent. The most valuable setups don't replace people. They compress the admin work surrounding their judgment. So attention moves from, "What should I do?" to, "Do I agree with what's been proposed?" Boardrooms will quietly shift from asking, "What can we automate?" to, "Which outcomes can we assign?" As agentic patterns spread, org charts start to look more like portfolios of digital franchises. Revenue recovery agents, churn reduction agents, launch readiness agents, each with owners, SLAs, and budgets. Think less about features and more about P&L. Which repeatable outcomes would you happily lease to a tireless specialist that never sleeps? The real opportunity isn't just delegating tasks, it's reshaping how work feels. When routine follow-ups, checks, and updates vanish into the background, your calendar starts to look less like a game of Tetris and more like a clean drafting table. Space for strategy, experiments, and the messy conversations only humans can navigate. Before next week, ask yourself, where in my product or workflow am I still treating AI like a smart autocomplete chatbot? And what's one concrete end-to-end task? For example, triaging support tickets, generating and sending follow-up emails, or updating CRM records. I'm willing to let an agent own from trigger to completion. Then ask, what real tools, APIs, or data sources am I comfortable letting this agent call on its own? For example, Calendar, Stripe, Jira, internal knowledge base. And what explicit guardrails would I set so it can act without constantly asking me for permission? Finally, if this agent worked quietly in the background for a week, what specific outcome would prove it's valuable? Fewer handoffs, faster resolution times, or fewer customer messages bouncing between humans and bots? This was Owl Up, your daily step forward. To keep learning with structured courses and more insights, go to owlup.co. Until tomorrow.